Every January 27th, we remember and honor the deaths of 6 million Jews, murdered during the Holocaust, the Nazi ultimate solution. The word Holocaust has a Greek origin and means sacrifice by fire. The Hebrew word for Holocaust is Shoah. During the period of the Holocaust, the Nazis also targeted Gypsies, Slavic people, mentally or physically disabled people, and other groups such as Jehovah's Witnesses for political reasons. Mein Kampf was the book young military with great political ambitions Adolf Hitler wrote while in prison. In this autobiography, he stated his aims for Germany and his strong belief that the Aryan race was superior to any other race, say Jews. Thanks to his charm and charisma, Adolf Hitler ascended to Chancellor of the Weimar Republic in 1933. Of course, propaganda was a vital part of his campaign. Through it, he blamed the Jews for the economic problems Germany was suffering as a consequence of the Great Depression, problems the previous government, composed mainly of Jews, had not been able to solve. With this recently acquired power, Hitler ordered the construction of the first concentration camp, Dachau, on March 1933. With the death of the president on August 1934, Hitler received complete control of Germany and declared himself Führer or Supreme Leader. On September 1935, the Reichstag passed two laws known as the Nuremberg Laws. The first deprived German Jews of their citizenship. The second forbade marriage between Jews and Aryans. These laws successfully deprived German Jews of all civil rights and excluded them from any kind of social or cultural life. The violent actions of the Nazis began with Kristallnacht, or Night of Broken Glass, on November 9, 1938. During that night, the Nazis murdered more than 90 Jews, beat hundreds more, destroyed more than 180 synagogues, and vandalized Jewish businesses. As Jews lost the right to own businesses, they started becoming poor and were made to be seen as a burden for Germany. Authorities then decided to group them and relocate them in ghettos. Their belongings were either stolen or used to support the war. Life in the ghettos was far from good. Meals were meager, starvation and disease were widespread. Those who were physically capable were put to work under German strict observation. Walls were built to isolate Jewish groups from one another. German soldiers just outside these walls had orders to shoot any escapees. The largest ghetto was the Warsaw Ghetto, where approximately 450,000 Jews were crowded into an area of 1.3 square miles. In total, the Nazis established over 400 ghettos, but the Jews never imagined what was yet to come. The Nazis never thought of ghettos as a permanent location for Jews. They were only places for Jews to wait to be sent to concentration camps, the solution for the Jewish problem.
היהודים היו משוכנעים שיותר גרוע לא יכול להיות. והאמת היא שכל שלב היה עד הסוף משהו יותר קשה.
On September 1st, 1939, Hitler invaded Poland, officially starting World War II. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany. Hitler's armies used the tactic of blitzkrieg, or light-in war, a highly coordinated attack combining tanks, air power, and fast-moving infantry. Before Britain and France could mobilize their troops, Poland collapsed. Germany's victory put it in a position to establish a new world order and made the plan to eliminate Jews easier to carry out. As the mass killings increased, they were to be carried out by mobile SS units. They eliminated complete Jewish communities. For example, 33,000 Jews of Kiev in Ukraine were killed on September 29 and 30, 1941. They also used gas vans, especially sealed vans in which victims were suffocated. The SS and Nazi leaders soon realized the mobile killing methods like shooting or gas vans were inefficient. Nazi leader Hermann Göring authorized the preparation for the implementation of the final solution. On January 20, 1942, high-ranking officials met and decided it was time to start. All European Jews were to be killed. They began transporting all Jews to death camps. The extermination camps were Auschwitz, Treblinka, Belzec, Sobibor, Lublin, and Kelmo. The purpose of these camps was a methodical and efficient killing of millions of innocent people.
הגענו לתחנת רכבת, המון קרונות בקר, ונכנסים ככה, שורה ראשונה קרון. בהתחלה נכנסו רק 70 אנשים. עד שראו שאין מספיק קרונות, אז לקרונות האחרונים כבר דחסו 100 אנשים. ואנחנו היינו 105 אנשים בקרון שלנו. לא היה איפה לעמוד, לא לשבת. לעמוד, אם הרמת רגל אחד, כבר לא היה לך מקום להחזיר אותו למקום.
When they arrived, guards were looking for strong men, twins, and other kinds of people among the Jews. Hitler had a special interest in twins. He wanted to figure out what made a person have twins, so he could maximize the number of Aryan people. Nazi doctors conducted atrocious experiments on humans. On some, they tested whether limbs could be transplanted to other people. They submerged others in icy water for hours to find ways to treat Nazi pilots who were forced to eject in cold oceans. To develop new execution methods, they tested poisons on prisoners. When experiments were over, most surviving patients were cruelly killed. Elderly, handicapped, women, and children were mostly separated upon their arrival and taken to what seemed to be a nicer part of the camp. But little did they know, their time there was about to end. The Nazis constructed gas chambers to increase killing efficiency and make the process more impersonal for the perpetrators. At Auschwitz, most Jews were gassed within an hour of getting off the train. Auschwitz had 4 gas chambers, where up to 8,000 Jews were gassed each day. Jews that were too weak to work were immediately taken to the chambers. They were told they were going to take a shower. After 20 minutes of exposure to the gas, all Jews had died. The bodies were then cremated. Soldiers removed valuable objects such as gold teeth and shaved the head to use the hair for their uniforms. On January 27, 1945, Auschwitz was liberated by Soviet troops, but German troops had previously marched into the camp, killing as many Jews and burning as much as they could, but they weren't entirely successful. In all, 15,668 Jews were liberated from Auschwitz. After all they had been through, they were finally free from the Nazis. Hitler committed suicide on April 30, 1945, but World War II officially ended in Europe on May 8 of that year, with the surrender of German forces. By then, the Jewish population of Europe had been devastated. Approximately 6 million Jews had been killed in the Holocaust. 1.5 million victims were innocent children. After the liberation of the Nazi camps, all Nazi crimes were exposed to the world. Those who survived resembled skeletons. Many were so weak they could barely move. Most of the camps had to be burned down to stop the spread of epidemics. Survivors of the camps faced a long and difficult road to recovery. Almost 2 million displaced people were unable to return to their pre-war homes. After the war, the Allies established an international military tribunal in Nuremberg, Germany, to prosecute the surviving Nazi leaders for war crimes and crimes against humanity, such as murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation, or persecutions on political, racial, or religious grounds. Many war criminals, however, were never punished.